barefooted.
Quiet on set.
Running red lights cause there's nobody around. No one they hear my speakers, do they even make a sound? Preaching to the choir, no one is there to see it. I don't talk about change, I just try to be it. That's word to the wise, word to the wise.
Southern trees bear strange fruit, blood on the leaves and blood at the root, black bodies swinging.
What's going on, YouTube? This is your man, one half of the brand, Abe. I'm coming to you today. This is something that's a little personal for me, and I've been wanting to share it, But I figured that this was the right time because it is July, and something happened 73 years ago in my family that I wanted to talk about, and it was actually known as America's last mass lynching. So it took place in Georgia, about 50 miles from Atlanta, and it was pretty much the lynching or shotgun murder of 4 African American individuals, and again, 2 of them which were my relatives. So I wanted to kind of just talk to you about that. There was actually a book written on the actual matter. So, I just thought it was important for us to kind of bring that to light and talk about it. It's July, and just go into it. So, and first and foremost, I wanna say rest in peace to the 4 individuals, and that's George Dorsey, May Mary Dorsey, Roger Malcolm, and Dorothy Dorsey Malcolm. So they were, pretty much two married couples that were shot multiple times. After an altercation happened, it was an incident where, a mob of Klan members, tracked them down and tied them to a tree and pretty much opened fire, murdering them. And May Murray Dorsey was actually pregnant at the time, and after they shot him, one of the Klan members actually, cut her fetus out of her stomach. But this here is the book. It's called Fire in a Canebrake. The reason why it's called Fire in a Canebrake is because at the time, one of the eyewitnesses said that, they did hear sounds, but, it sounded like, a canebrake, which makes a sound kind of like a snapping sound. So that's why, Fire in a Canebrake is a book. It was written by Laura Wexler. She did an excellent job on researching and, all of the stuff she put in here was pretty good. Actually, there's also a reenactment that happens yearly in July. Again, it took place in Walton County, and it takes place on the anniversary every year, July 25th of the incident, or the weekend of that time frame.
Nigga Roger, get him out of the car. Right here in the front. got my gun on you, baby. Get back in the car. Stay up on quiet, man. Will you, nigga? You gonna stop, boy. Get that real quick. Take that tree over there. Boys, we're going to show him what we do with uppity niggers.
But again, it happened 73 years ago. So I feel like it's important that, you know, and we're going to talk about more books that we read and a lot of the stuff that, you know, a lot of the knowledge that goes into, you know, our minds, you know, the minds behind 24 Karat Black, you know, which is, of course, Abe and KL. But this book right here is really important to me. And again, it's July. So it's this 73rd year. You know, it's an anniversary of a horrific American crime. And, you know, none of the individuals were ever caught. And I mean, there's a lot of people that I want to commend that actually are still investigating to try to bring justice to this matter because no one was ever found guilty of it. So this book here is actually on Amazon for, I think, $11. You can buy it. So I encourage everybody to get this book because it's a huge piece of American history. It is the last mass lynching. So, you know, I encourage everybody to read it. It's a really good read, informative. Of course, it's very heartbreaking, a lot of pain. Again, it's something that is a part of my family, and it's something that, you know, I feel like, you know, we need to start connecting ourselves to. I understand that in America, there's a way for you know, I guess the horrible history of African Americans to kind of be swept under the rug, but we can't allow that disconnect. We have to stay connected because in that connection there's a free-flowing energy that we can pull from. There's pride that is actually, you know, in knowing that, you know, we have meaningful history, even through the pain. Intertwined in that pain, there's pride because, you know, the descendants of such people, and I'm not just talking about the individuals or the victims in this book, I'm talking about, you know, all of our ancestors who went through the struggle and fought to get out of that slavery and pain and bondage. And those, you know, that had the children and raised the children during those atrocities, and those children going on to have children and raise them right, and those children going on, and then, you know, thus producing us, you know, this generation. We're tied to that struggle. We're tied to that. So tying the now to the past is essential. So there needs to be a connection there. And so the disconnect allows for the miscommunication and for people to start, you know, kind of shunning away this information and saying, okay, that was so long ago, we don't need to know about this stuff. Let it go, you know, it's over. But again, we have to understand that in our history, and of course in American history, for the African American, it's a lot of pain, but there's a lot of stories of triumph in that pain, and we can't let go of that. So we gotta know, we gotta pick these books up, whatever we have to, talk to our elders. That's something that I noticed that is really, really missing in today's generation. They're not as eager to talk to, you know, the grandparents or great-grandparents if they have them, just to tap into that history. Because again, in that history, whether it's pain, whether it's, you know, stories of success or triumph, intertwined is pride. We have to be able to tap into our Black heritage, our Black pride. We cannot do that if there's a disconnect. So we're going to continue, and that's why 24 Karat Black is the brand that it is because we want people to see and connect with the power that they have, you know, and we want them to know that they're valuable, and we want them to know about their history. We want them to know about their potential. So we're going to talk about the books that we read. We're going to talk about the knowledge you know, that we've acquired over, you know, these years and what we've poured into 24 Karat Black. So yeah, man, it's, you know, and so with that situation, there was, you know, the president at the time, Harry Truman. He did call for, like, you know, an FBI investigation. I feel that is super important because, you know, if we don't understand our history and what is exactly in our DNA, then, you know, we're only a shell of a human, you know, in a sense. So it's important that we connect to that history. And I just think that there's a lot of answers, there's a lot of inspiration, there's a lot of motivation that is written in our history. We have to tap into that, and we have to continue to stay educated. We have to continue to stay knowledgeable. We can't allow ourselves to feel ashamed for wanting to know more about where we come from and where our people come from. It's not that we're anti-white. We're just in love, so in love with who we are and the people who paved the way for us. So it's a difference there. We're not racist at all. 24 Karat Black is not racist. It's not a racist brand. It doesn't have a hateful bone in its body. It's more informative, and it's more about, you know, making sure people can, you know, find the value within themselves in spite of all the stuff that we've been through as a people, and just to know that we are all connected. So that's just why we're so emphatic about making sure that people of color understand that, you know. So it's key, and that's pretty much it, man. Make sure you guys get this book again, Fire in a Canebrake. It is super, super important that, you know, we learn and we have information about the people who paved the way before us and the things that, you know, affect us. Even though it was 73 years ago, it still has an effect on me. Just knowing that this is something in my lineage, and again, it's a powerful thing. So it makes me step that much stronger. Makes me think. Makes me, you know, aspire to stay on the right side of justice. It makes me want to teach my children about all that, you know, is in their family and the richness of the history, good and bad, and, you know, it just does a lot, you know. So connect with the past, stay connected, and don't allow anybody to deter you from you know, researching your history and going to the roots, because, you know, in those roots is where the strength lies, and that's how it is oftentimes. At the core or the root of something is more than likely where the strength lies. So go to those roots, man. Fire in a Canebrake. Go to Amazon. I'll have things listed in the video. I'll have, you know, where you can get the book. I'll have information on the reenactment. I'll have any information that I can find. I will provide that for you. And again, we're going to share other books and pieces of knowledge that we've acquired over the years, and what, you know, 24 Karat Black is all about. We just love you guys. We want you guys to stay golden, stay motivated, stay inspired, and stay woke. We love you. Peace.
You ever try to bring some people with you to a place you're trying to get to, and all along the way as you cut a clear and they sharpening sticks, sparing to get you, and throw it at a rate that is faster than they'll forget you? I got a couple around me surrounded